Election Day 2024 arrived with a flurry of activity. Across the nation, polling stations opened their doors early, welcoming a steady stream of voters eager to make their voices heard. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation and determination. Both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris made their final appeals to voters. Their campaigns had been relentless, each rallying their supporters with passionate speeches and promises of a better future. The airwaves were filled with their messages, each trying to sway the undecided. They held rallies in crucial battleground states. These states, often the deciding factor in elections, saw an influx of campaign events, with both candidates making multiple stops to ensure every vote was counted. The energy at these rallies was electric, with supporters waving signs and chanting slogans. The nation watched with bated breath. The outcome remained uncertain. News channels provided continuous coverage, analyzing every piece of data as it came in. Families gathered around their televisions, their faces reflecting the tension and hope of the moment. The stakes were incredibly high for both candidates. For Trump, it was a chance to reclaim the presidency and continue his agenda. For Harris, it was an opportunity to make history as the first female president. Campaign volunteers worked tirelessly, making last-minute calls and organizing get-out-the-vote efforts. The tension was palpable as Americans headed to the polls. Long lines formed early in the morning, with voters braving the elements to cast their ballots. The sense of urgency was evident as people understood the importance of their vote in this pivotal election. This election was shaping up to be one of the most consequential in recent history. The issues at stake ranged from healthcare and the economy to climate change and social justice. Each candidate presented starkly different visions for the future of the country. The country was deeply divided. Protests and counter-protests erupted in various cities, highlighting the polarized nature of the electorate. The map of the United States was a patchwork of red and blue, each color representing a different set of values and priorities. The next 4 years would set the course for America's future. The decisions made by the incoming administration would have lasting impacts on both domestic and international policies. Voters discussed the implications of the election with friends and family, weighing the potential outcomes. Every vote felt incredibly significant. As ballots were cast and counted, the nation held its collective breath, waiting to see who would lead them into the next chapter of American history. The sense of unity and division was palpable, as everyone hoped for a brighter future. In a surprising turn of events, podcaster Joe Rogan endorsed Donald Trump. This endorsement came as a shock to many, given Rogan's typically nonpartisan stance and his wide-ranging discussions on various topics. His influence in the podcasting world is immense, with millions of listeners tuning into his episodes. The announcement came after a much-discussed interview with Elon Musk on Rogan's show. During the interview, they covered a range of topics, from technology and space exploration to politics and societal issues. Musk's perspective seemed to resonate with Rogan, leading to this unexpected political endorsement. This unexpected endorsement sent shockwaves through the media. News outlets quickly picked up the story, analyzing the potential impact of Rogan's support for Trump. Pundits debated the significance of this endorsement and its possible effects on the upcoming election. It had the potential to sway undecided voters, particularly among Rogan's large and diverse listenership. His audience includes people from various backgrounds and political affiliations, making his endorsement a powerful tool in influencing public opinion. Meanwhile, U.S. intelligence agencies issued warnings. They highlighted the importance of being vigilant against foreign interference, especially from nations like Russia, which have a history of attempting to meddle in U.S. elections. They reported increased Russian disinformation efforts. These efforts included spreading false information and creating divisive content to influence voters' perceptions and decisions. These efforts aim to influence the election. The agencies urged caution, advising the public to critically evaluate the information they encounter online and to be aware of potential disinformation campaigns. Voters should be wary of information online. It's essential to cross-check facts and seek out multiple sources before forming opinions or making decisions based on online content. Relying on trusted news sources was crucial. Established and reputable news organizations are more likely to provide accurate and verified information, helping voters make informed choices. The fight against election interference was ongoing. Government agencies, cybersecurity experts, and concerned citizens continue to work together to protect the integrity of the electoral process and ensure that every vote counts. Americans cast their votes, but the outcome remained unclear. The race between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump was extremely tight. Results might not be known for some time. Polls closed at different times across the country. Some states, like Pennsylvania, could take over 24 hours to count all ballots. Several factors could delay the announcement of a winner. Close margins were likely, potential recounts could occur. Legal challenges were also possible. The country prepared for a long night. Every vote needed to be counted accurately. Patience was paramount. Across the nation, voters turned out in significant numbers. They cast their ballots in the 2024 presidential election. Polls would close throughout the day. Key battleground states saw high voter turnout. These states included North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. Voters cited various key issues as their top concerns. Women's rights and abortion were paramount. The economy, healthcare, and climate change also weighed heavily. These issues resonated deeply with the electorate. They were central to the national conversation. Section 5. Contrasting campaigns. Trump's fire, Harris's hope. Donald Trump held his final rally before Election Day. He launched a series of insults at his opponents. His rhetoric remained fiery. Kamala Harris concluded her campaign with a message of unity. She promised action. She vowed to get to work for the American people. Trump and Harris presented starkly different visions for the country. Trump's approach was confrontational. Harris emphasized collaboration and progress. The contrast highlighted the deep divisions within the electorate. Section 6. Battleground states, the deciders. Several key battleground states remained on edge. These included Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. The races were incredibly close. Delays in announcing results were possible. Election officials prepared for potential issues. Recounts were a possibility. Legal challenges could arise. These battleground states held immense weight. They had the power to determine the next president. Both campaigns invested heavily in these states. They understood the importance of securing victory there. The nation watched closely as these states diligently counted their votes. Section 7. Early voting surge, a sign of high stakes. Over 76 million Americans cast their ballots early. This number indicated a high level of voter enthusiasm. The outcome of the election likely hinged on a handful of swing states. Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin were crucial. Both campaigns recognized their importance. Early voting numbers smashed previous records. They reflected the high stakes of this election. Americans were eager to make their voices heard. The country awaited the final results. Section 8. The Electoral College's decisive role. The popular vote alone wouldn't determine the winner. The Electoral College played a crucial role. The candidate who secured a majority of electoral votes would become president. This system added another layer of complexity. It could lead to a candidate winning the presidency without winning the popular vote. The Electoral College system was often debated. Its critics argued that it was undemocratic. Its supporters emphasized its role in balancing the interests of different states. Regardless, it remained the system in place. Section 9. Inauguration Day, 2025. A new chapter begins. The air was filled with anticipation and excitement as the nation prepared for a significant moment in its history. The nation awaited the election results with bated breath. Families gathered around their televisions, friends huddled together in living rooms, and communities came together in public spaces, all united by the suspense of the moment. Once the winner was declared, the focus would shift from the campaign trail to the upcoming inauguration. The streets echoed with cheers and celebrations as supporters of the winning candidate rejoiced in their victory. Inauguration Day was set for January 20th, 2025. Preparations were in full swing, with every detail meticulously planned to ensure a smooth and memorable event. On that day, the newly elected president would take the oath of office, pledging to serve the nation with integrity and dedication. The ceremony would be a testament to the enduring strength of American democracy. A new chapter in American history would begin, symbolized by the rising sun and the waving flags. The inauguration would be a moment of unity and hope, reflecting on the past while looking forward to the future. The inauguration ceremony would mark a transition of power, a peaceful handover that is the hallmark of a stable and mature democracy. The outgoing and incoming presidents would stand together, embodying the spirit of continuity and change. It would be a day of celebration and reflection. Fireworks would light up the sky, and people from all walks of life would gather on the National Mall to witness history in the making. It would be a time to reflect on the journey so far and the road ahead. The country would look ahead with hope and anticipation. Challenges would undoubtedly arise, but the spirit of resilience and optimism would guide the nation forward. Inspirational speeches would echo the sentiments of unity and progress. However, the democratic process would continue, as it always has. The act of voting, the peaceful transitions, and the enduring symbols of democracy would remind everyone that the power ultimately lies with the people. This new chapter would be written by every citizen, contributing to the ever-evolving story of the nation.